So the rookie quarterbacks, I thought Drake May was not as impressive, but going into this season, he's not as refined. The Caleb stuff, it's funny. As a coach who knew personnel, you hit on draft picks, you knew them. It doesn't, I always said, I used to watch American Idol. I could tell within 12 seconds, and I don't know anything about music. I'd be like, terrible, lounge singer, wow. I could tell, I don't know music. Is that I watched Caleb Williams make one or two plays, one or two runs, and I was like, yeah, I've seen enough. You can, I get it. And that's my interpretation. Like, you can see magic from a pass rusher, a receiver. I remember Jamar Chase's first game. I'm like, yep, that works. He's good. What did you make of the young quarterbacks? But let's start with Caleb Williams.
I would say if I was a Chicago Bears fan, I'd be really excited. I'd be really optimistic. I'm sure season ticket sales have continued to improve, jersey sales, all those things, because you got to see the upside of Caleb Williams. You got to see some of the wild plays, some of the plays that he makes with his feet, some of the off platform type plays that he's capable of. I like the fact that he slid on his run. I thought that was encouraging as well. There weren't false starts. There weren't quarterback center exchange problems, delay of games. You didn't have the operational stuff. So all those things were really positive. I'm curious, and I've said this over and over again, my concern is that he's going to try to make a play all the time, and that will catch up. That'll catch up to you. The guys are too good in the NFL. They hit harder, they close faster, they anticipate better. So as long as he doesn't have to play hero ball all the time, and will truly understand that it's okay to live to fight another day and throw the ball away and have a long career, that to me is my biggest concern with Caleb, but really optimistic about what you saw in this limited exposure.
So I want to talk about Bo Nix, who...
Okay, let's focus on Caleb Williams. Then we'll talk about Bo Nix in a different video. Okay. I've kind of addressed this. I think I made a video today that's already been posted, if memory serves me correctly. I make a lot of videos. I understand that, and I've cautioned that a lot too, about Caleb Williams, about these quarterbacks constantly trying to play hero ball, constantly trying to make a play, and just being unable to check the ball down. And that is one of the benefits of having such a top-level offensive coach like a McVay, like an Andy, like a Shanahan. And we saw that that's what Mahomes wanted to kind of do a lot. And it took Andy's guiding hand to be like, let's chill. We're not going to win as consistently if you constantly try to make a play nonstop. I know what you can do is pretty much the first we've ever really seen this at this level, in these moments, and it's amazing. And I know you're feeling yourself, but it's okay. Checking down the ball is okay. Throwing the ball only 23 times is okay. We're going to hand the ball off. We're going to kick some field goals. We're going to go for 3-yard gains, 4-yard gains. Like it's okay. It's okay. And it took a minute for Patrick Mahomes to kind of understand that. And again, now they've won some big games, big moments with Patrick Mahomes only throwing, 20, 21, 22, 23 times. That's a real thing. Go look at the stats. And some of them are some great plays, but a lot of times it's not. It'll be like one or two great plays a game. And so my thesis is that Caleb Williams is going to see that Patrick Mahomes has kind of shown the blueprint for that. It's not to say that Caleb Williams isn't going to get himself in trouble in some of those moments, just like Patrick Mahomes to this day still does, right? Like, it's still going to be happening. It's just going to be, when you have a quarterback that can do so much, it's just going to be technically one of the drawbacks. Every quarterback has drawbacks. Every quarterback has multiple drawbacks. And it's just going to be one of the things that you're going to have to accept. And it'll be part of Caleb Williams' drawback of maybe doing that sometimes at the wrong time or too much sometimes, in a game. But I don't think it's going to be something that's going to hurt him again and again and again and again. I also think their OC for the Chicago Bears is, I don't want to say he's conservative, but I think he's like kind of cut from a little bit more of the old school cloth to a degree of an Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid's kind of like this hybrid, which is what makes him so relevant and continues to be so great after all these years. But it is kind of this old school, new school balance. And I think the Bears OC Shane Waldron can have that impact on Caleb, right? I think it is going to be establishing this fundamental, dare I say, elementary way to approach football, as from a quarterback perspective, and then you sprinkle in the razzle dazzle. And I know he's excited to do the razzle dazzle. Right? I know he wants to do that. He wants to light this league on fire. He wants to be the GOAT. But that's the thing. He understands, and this is why I also really firmly believe this. He said, in one way or the other, that he wants to be the GOAT. That he that's what he's achieving. He knows. We all know at this point, it's all about winning those Super Bowls. It's all about winning ring after ring after ring. It's not about the Heisman Trophy highlights. It's not about getting the 10,000 yards. It's not about getting 1,000,000 touchdowns. It's not about that. Maybe once upon a time it was more like that, but it's not anymore. It's all about winning ring after ring after ring after ring. I mean, we see what Patrick Mahomes can do. And yet there's majority of people are still going to say that Tom Brady's the GOAT. We see what LeBron James can do. But they're still saying Michael Jordan is 6-0. If LeBron James had 7 rings, it'd be a lot harder of an argument to say that he's not the GOAT. So I believe that Caleb is going to try incredibly hard to understand what it takes for winning football. And it's going to be a process. It's going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But I believe that he is so highly motivated, which to me is reminiscent of LeBron James. Of this idea of like, I have my sights set on being the GOAT. And I know that I not only have to be great, but I also have to understand what it takes to win. But you do sometimes have to learn that. Fortunately for Caleb, the blueprint of Patrick Mahomes is right there in front of him. It's not years ago. It's not decades ago. It's right in front of him. They see it. It's right there. You can literally just watch all the games and see all the pluses and minuses of Patrick Mahomes' career, and you'll be able to take all the good and try to reduce the bad. I mean, it's the literal blueprint. Plus, you'll be able to find your own way. Find some of the things that makes Caleb Williams special, that maybe makes Caleb Williams a little bit different than Patrick Mahomes. So I believe that they'll do it. I think at the very least, their OC has that confidence to kind of execute that. He just is someone that I think is a little bit more of a no-nonsense player, OC. And I don't think he's one of those guys that also just wants to kind of be one of the guys. I think he understands his role. I think he understands his role as the coordinator, as the leader of that offense, quite frankly, as the captain of that offense, I should say. Just like Andy Reid understands that. And I'm not trying to say that I think Shane Waldron is just like unbelievable OC, because I'm on the record saying that I don't necessarily think that. But I think he should be good enough to get Caleb at the very least like 80%, 85% of his expected value of what he can do. You probably do, to truly unleash a Caleb, you probably do need a Shanahan, a McVay, an Andy Reid to get to that 100% full-on lock mode. Just like Patrick Mahomes needs Andy Reid to get to that 100% full-on lock mode. Just like Tom Brady needed Bill Belichick to get to that 100% full-on lock mode. But I think that at the very least, we should be able to see 85% of Caleb. And quite frankly, 85% of Patrick Mahomes is still unbelievably a top quarterback in the NFL. So I'm really curious to see how this unfolds. Not to mention, they have a great roster, tons of weapons. So I just don't think, I understand we always want to raise concerns about a player, and I'm all for that, definitely, about a player, a team, whatever. I'm never a big fan of this 100% going all in, right? Like we see kind of Nick Wright do, or some of these other people, the Stephen A's of the world, where it's just like 100%, this is it. This is the greatest player ever. 100%, this is the team. They're going to win. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like it's always 360 degrees. There's always multiple sides to look at something. But I think this automatic assumption that Caleb isn't going to know how to play winning football, or he's going to constantly try to play hero ball or do the crazy reaching deep in your bag thing, I understand why that's a concern, but I think based on the team that they have, the coordinators that they put around him, and who Caleb wants to be in the NFL, and the Patrick Mahomes blueprint, I'm starting to think that won't be as much of a concern as maybe a lot of people initially thought. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you think the biggest concern is about Caleb Williams going into the NFL? Outside of just people just randomly saying he's going to be a bust, he's this, that. What is a realistic, legitimate concern for Caleb Williams moving into this season? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.